Today's subject is all about dealing with those awkward customers. You know, we've talked about it before, the 4 magic words. If you haven't seen my video on the 4 magic words, then please review that video. But in today's video, I want to talk about dealing with awkward customers. You see, we call it pruning the tree, because sometimes you have to do, well, we like to call it a student cull, if that's the right thing to say, or appropriate thing to say in a yoga studio. And what I mean is this: there will be some customers that you have in your studio right now, and they may have even been there for the longest time, but you'll quickly realize that they are or will become the biggest pain in the butt that you've got. Whenever you make a change, even if it's for the better, they will complain. Whenever you give them some sort of advice, they really won't take it. They can be some of the most disruptive people in your classes when you're teaching. They can be some of the most ignorant people, in fact. If they were to start training at your studio tomorrow and you were to start fresh, you probably wouldn't even allow them to train at your studio if they acted the way they were. Case in point here is I recently spoke to a client who had a customer that was coming that was smelling really bad. Now remember, they run a hot yoga studio, a Bikram studio in fact, so that stench and that smell, because they weren't cleaning their clothes properly, was causing other customers to complain. In fact, the stench was so bad it was causing the instructor to almost feel sick. So needless to say, we had a situation that had to be dealt with. Now, it was dealt with appropriately and delicately. Obviously you don't shout at them in the middle of class in front of everybody else, but they were unwilling to change their personal hygiene habits. Well, at that point, despite or no matter how long they're in your school, if it's a 1 membership that could be costing you 10 memberships, you have to just do the math. It's called collateral damage. Unfortunately, some people that you may have started your studio with, or students that you've been training for a long time, aren't necessarily the students that you want to stay with your studio for the future. And there's a reason for that. Well, there's a reason for this. The question is this: how well is your studio running right now? And if it's not running exactly how you want it to run, or you're not attracting the right clientele you want to attract, you have to ask yourself, well, if we're doing everything outside and externally to market these customers, what's their experience like when they come in? And if it is unpleasant, and if there are customers or long-term students that are complaining about this and complaining about that, and no matter what you do, they complain, then, well, it's quite frankly time to shake their hand, pat them on the back, and let them know their journey has finished at your studio. And make no bones about it, quite often when this happens, and it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, 1 or 2 things will happen. Either 1, they will leave your studio forever, or 2, they will correct their behavior and reform back into the mold. Now, you have to make that decision as and when that time's appropriate, but my recommendation is that 1 student or that 2 students that you have in your studio right now, probably hold up most of your mental energy, because you'll focus on these 1 or 2 people that send you annoying emails, or they make complaints, or they say inappropriate things to the staff, maybe when you, the owner, isn't there. Listen, whoever they are, here's how we dealt with it. And remember, we ran 62 units, thousands of students. Me as the CEO of the company, the only thing I dealt with was, quite frankly, awkward customers. We have 10,000 plus students, and 1% are upset every month. Just calculate how many people complain that is, and that's what I was dealing with. So I got very used to dealing with customer complaints and customer concerns, and for most part they were resolved. However, there were some people there that no matter what we did or what we tried to do, didn't resolve the situation. So you know what, it was time for me to shake their hand and say, hey, thank you very much, I'm so sorry, we didn't live up to your high expectations, so it's time to part ways, shake hands and move on. I wish you the very best of luck. You see how nice that was? You see how polite it is? And there's something else that happens. You feel like almost a big weight has been lifted off your shoulder, because 9 times out of 10 it's the same customers that are complaining about the same stuff over and over and over again. And the moment you just cut them out, your life enters a whole new realm, and it enables you to open your mind and really focus on the people that are moving in the same direction as you are with your yoga business. Well, I hope that helps. Until next time, don't be afraid to prune that tree and get rid of those people that are helping you to work towards running a truly successful yoga studio. Catch you on the next video.